What's up, everybody? How you doing? We are here tonight, today, right now, in this place for a special recap episode of Part 2, a sequel to the original that already happened, but it's happening again because it's a sequel of the part of 2 that was then. I will be joined by Newton here in a little bit. I'll be bringing him out. Let me just get this intro thing out the way. I am Mike Watson, the publisher of Short Fuse Media Group, the founder of Freestyle Comics, one half of the good, the bad, and the nerdy, the most enthusiastic person in comics, aka going by the moniker also known as the Super Mad Brother, here today and every day that we have a chat and draw, your host on this show. And what is this show? Let me tell you, it's a pretty cool show where we chat and we draw. Normally featuring comic book creatives, I bring them onto the show, I draw their character live, and we talk about the projects they have going on. And today, we have a very awesome project that I am a big fan of. Where's my indie books there, baby? Because I got them all right there, baby. All of them. Right there. And I'm waiting for my fourth one that's coming after this Kickstarter starts. Actually, let's get that popping right now. There's a Kickstarter going for this bad boy right now. Check it out. It's live. It's in the building. J-Man, what's up? Now, I don't know how long tonight's episode is going to be. Well, probably won't be as long as our normal episodes, as I already have half the artwork done, and we're going to do some cleanups on here. But let's get it started.
Here comes a new challenger.
What up, Newton?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
It's going fine, man. How are you?
I'm good.
It is good to have you. Good to have you finally on the show. As we found out, we had some issues that you had to take care of. Family comes first, and today I dropped the ball. I lost track of time.
yeah, no worries. In fact, I feel real bad about missing that. In fact, I had kicked the idea to you about a giveaway to make up for it. So, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And you read your book? All right, I will mark it off of your chore list. Thank you very much. All right, and I appreciate that you feel bad, man, and that's very good. But as I told you, family comes first. Things happen. We got to move and groove as we went. Danny J. Quick came on and subbed for you for a little bit yesterday. Tried to fill in the role while I was getting the artwork done.
Oh, Mr. Quick, yeah. I admire of his work, man.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man. So you were talking about a potential giveaway. What were you thinking?
I don't know. I guess issues 1 through 3, 1, 2, and 3. I guess.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like maybe I ask a question and the first person to answer it will get the first 3 issues for free.
Okay. All right. Let's do it like this then. On our chat, there should be a private chat. Go ahead and type your question in there. Mm-hmm. I'll copy it. I'll add it to a banner so we can show it to people. And the first person to answer this question by making a comment on here. And I would like to add in that they have to share this live stream as well. You've got to get the question right, and you've got to share the live stream. All right.
And this is for U.S. based people.
USA, staying in the country. I get it. That shipping, that shipping's a problem. I get you. All right. So, Newton, you created something that I have become a big fan of very quickly. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm a bitch. I don't do no monster stuff. I don't do monsters. I don't do horror. I don't do none of that stuff. I don't like it in my games. I don't like it in my cartoons, in my movies, nothing. But what you have crafted here not only got my attention, but I am a fan. How did we get here, man?
Thanks, man. You know what it is? I think so. The story itself really is, I believe, leans more towards the supernatural. You know, it's got a little horror. But I think it leans towards the supernatural. So I think that's why if you're not a horror fan, that you would still like the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, the monsters that you have designed in this bad boy, they're crazy. They look so dope. Like, the zombies. It's such a simple thing that you guys did, coming up with the design of that, but they still look like zombies, and it's like a breath of fresh air with how they look. So how did that go? Like, did you say? I know you said before you're a big fan of Walking Dead, but can you walk us through the process of how did you want the zombies to be for your series?
Yeah. So it was really simple. I wanted zombies that looked like they were, what people typically think of zombies with, like, decaying flesh, right? But I
Hmm.
didn't want the extreme of, like, their jaws hanging out, or um, like a really bad deterioration. But so I decided to go with, like, cracks in the skin, and kind of like
Uh-huh.
really, like, almost as if they were dead, but still alive. Like, maybe they were, like, I don't know, 5 days old dead, kind of thing. What I mean? If you can catch my drift. So
Yeah.
and then I wanted to kind of, like, add cracks to the thing. So that's how I came with the concept. And of course, with every concept that I come up with, you know, um, the artist Giancarlo Bernal, he just goes above and beyond of whatever I write. He makes me look like a genius.
Yeah. Dude, he's fantastic. He reminds me a lot of Sean Chen, and I mean no disrespect to him, but
Mhm.
like a hell of a lot better. like like maybe like back in his younger day where paper was being destroyed by him. But like I love his cross hatching. I've never been able to find like a perfect balance myself as an artist
Mhm.
for cross hatching, but like your guy does. He has a perfect balance of the right amount throughout this entire book.
Yeah, yeah. He's when it comes to artwork, he's genius level. That's the only way to describe it. Because not only is his artwork crazy dope, but the angles that he does the panels in is very cinematic. So um, it's not just his artistic level. It's also his eye, his the
Hmm.
vision. He takes it to another level. It's like it's amazing. It absolutely is. I mean, even until now, he just blows my mind. In fact, he's also versatile too. He just completed a set of chibi version of some of the characters that we did.
Did he?
Yeah, so when
I
I
would
did that,
love to see that.
yeah, yeah, it's on our latest Instagram post. So if you go to Dream Fury Comics on Instagram,
Mhm.
you'll see his version of the chibi versions of Crescent City, some of the Crescent City Monsters characters, and people are loving it. It's dope. I was like, man, is this anything that Gene can't do?
Hey, you really got a good one with that. How did you two link up? How did that process go? Oh, shut up.
Uh,
Dude, hold up. I gotta show the audience. These look cool as hell. Hold on, let me log in on the other computer. Go ahead and tell us how did you guys link up? How did that process work for you?
well, I was looking for an artist, of course, for the book, and I was going through DeviantArt. Um, and if when you're a writer looking for artists, it's a really long, tedious process because you got to look through a lot of artwork, and then you also have to then find the right style. So it takes
Hmm.
a while. So I was just searching through DeviantArt and Instagram and Behance, and I came upon Gene's work, and I recognized a couple of pages he had on there from one of the Kickstarters that I pledged to or backed, and it was, I believe, the last days of Kevin or the Ronin, and he had the pages from that. So I was like, oh, okay, this is great. Oh yeah, there you go, the Chibis.
Those look really cool, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like chibi art is cool. I
mhm.
like it, but it's rare when the chibi art can match the original art of the comic book. So
Yeah,
like that's really dope.
yeah. It's funny because we were coming ideas with stretch goals, and Gene was like Chibis, and I was like, oh, Chibis are cool, but I always think Chibis related to anime. Um,
Hmm.
but then I was like, I'm just gonna let Gene do what he does because he never really disappoints me. So I was like, all right, let's do some chibis. And so when he came back with them, whoa, I was like, this is dope. Oh yeah, there's Moana. So she's excited when she saw them. Yeah, thanks.
J-Man, I know The Last of Us is borderline horror, but I played that with a stipulation. My daughters played with me. My wife played with me. They supported me as I went through that game. We played about an hour and a half, 2 hours each chunk, but with my family and support, I was able to pull through that game all the way through. And I'm not going to miss out on a Naughty Dog video game. They are masters in that craft.
Which game is this?
The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. J-Man is trying to call me on my stuff because I don't do horror, but I did play Last of Us. It's a really, really good story, and maybe something that you would appreciate as a writer as well. They really make you question, and I know you're a fan of Walking Dead, so they really make you question how viable is revenge. You look at both perspectives, both parties involved, and oh man, it was dope. But yeah, so we got this character here. We got Jonas that I'm drawing right now.
Oh, okay, nice.
I want to play around with stuff. I really, really dig his magic. And then my feelings got hurt because he lost his powers.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man, those magic knife swords he's got are super dope. And then he's like controlling all the snakes and stuff. I said, oh, we got a problem on our hands right now. And I got that next issue. I was like, for real? That's what you do, Newton? That's how you play, man?
Yeah,
yeah. It looks like you don't have a problem putting. Thank you, Moana. It looks like you don't have a problem putting your character in absolute terrible situations.
Oh yeah, that was the intention. Yeah, it was like, so I'm a big fan of like dark, gritty stories. So I love to see characters who struggle through like situations that pushes them to the limit. You know, I guess because it fascinates me because I'm always thinking to myself like, what would I do in a situation like that? You know, and I've never been in situations where it was like so horrible that, you know, I have to decide between like a really bad choice and another bad choice. You know what I mean? So it's like I love stories like that, and I like creating stories like that. It's just something that you know I'm really into. I mean, like I guess that's why, you know, shows like Breaking Bad, True Detective, and even The Wire.
Yeah.
It really appealed to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I was watching you on my sis show, Moana, and you were talking it up. Can you walk us through your process for, you know, you deciding to make the book black and white?
Yeah. So, like I mentioned to Moana, I think I mentioned it to her. You know, I was.
Oh, you did. I watched that episode.
Okay. I was a big fan of The Walking Dead, and I wanted to create my own zombie comic book, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna make it in black and white too. That was the main reason, and of course, you know, there's some, you know, auxiliary reasons too, like cost.
Yeah.
You know, but it worked out good because when I first approached Gene, because his artwork was dope. I was like, wow, this is incredible. Now I hadn't seen any of his grayscale stuff. I just saw his pure lines, and I was like, this guy is great. So I asked him. I said, hey, can you do black and white art, like artwork like this, and you know, with some gray tones? And I showed him a page of The Walking Dead, and he was like, yeah, okay. But what he sent me back was like on the next level. I mean, the grayscale was like nothing like I've ever seen before, and I was just like, I was so excited about it when I saw it.
Yeah, Walking Dead ain't got no gray tones like you, man.
No, I didn't.
No, they are now aspiring to be on your level. And again, not a fan of black and white books at all. But that one jumped. It worked. It's something about like what he does as an artist on this page, your storytelling, the story that you've written, the storytelling, the character designs, like uh you've converted me to a lot of things, man. Like I'm not big into the 60s or any of that style, but I dug Jonas. Like I dug him. I was like, all right, so that's what we doing. Like I'm trying not to ruin it for a bunch of people, even though I know the first 3 issues have been out. But the whole cop scene, impeccable, right on time.
Well, if you like them in the '60s, there's a crossover that I'm going to do with Keith Cross. So it's a crossover for the Kickstarter project, and it's going to be like a mini story about 10 to 12 pages. And this story is going to take place in New Orleans, of course, and it's going to go back to 1962 or 1963, back to that the era that was in the first issue.
Okay.
So you might like that. I'm excited about that project. I'm excited about the crossover with Keith Cross's Day Black, especially his character Merce.
Yeah.
Merce is a dope character. You know, the whole vampire thing with Merce and Day Black, and you know how he's also a tattoo artist and his crazy twin brother. I mean, it's dope. So I'm looking forward to that crossover.
Oh yeah, don't sleep on it. I like where we took it. I think it's a perfect jump off point, because I remember you also saying that you were going to start it where it was in issue 2, but decided to back it up for issue 1.
Yeah, that was that I wouldn't say it was last moment, but it was at a really late point when I was developing the story. So I had the story in my head and how it was going to go, and so then there was something that I was like, damn, something's missing. I was like, Jonas hasn't suffered enough. You know, I was like, I need for him to suffer. And at the same time, I wanted to show him in his like natural habitat, or when he was the most happiest. I wanted to show everyone what he was losing. You know, so I wanted the audience to be able to connect to him before he lost everything, so they realize, you know, where he's coming from.
It was a very strategic move, and I think it definitely works, because I was pissed. I was pissed for him. I was pissed with him, and I was just like, man, like I had to put the book down for a couple seconds. Like, so this is where we're at right now. This is what he's really doing to us. He gave me all that dopeness, and now my man has been stripped, and now he's got to kind of like start back over. But I think he did a good job of keeping us there with the things that are happening in the background. And let's get this question popped off real quick. What is the middle name of the main character, Jonas? First person to comment on that is going to get issues 1, 2, and 3 of Crescent City Monsters, courtesy of Newton, here live on the show tonight. All right, so how much of this do you have planned out, man? Like, without spoilers, because you're dropping, like, in these first 3 issues, you're setting up a lot of different things, a lot of different pathways, a lot of different characters. So how much of this in advance have you written out or, you know, plotted to get us here where we're at?
So I plotted most of it, but not the details, just the general direction that it's going to go. So because I find what happens is when I start writing, everything that, you know, if the details that I originally had in my mind, always they kind of change or morph into something else. I'm writing it, so it never really stays the same. So what I have is like a general idea of how it goes, and then so like for example, I know, you know, in the end what's going to happen to Jonas and most of the main characters, but you know, I haven't really figured out all the minute details and, you know, all the little intricate things that I want to add to the story. Like as I go along, I like to add some things that to the story that if you're really paying attention to, that you're like, oh, okay, you know, that's cool. He mentioned that, you know, in chapter 1 or, you know, chapter 2, and you kind of see how everything fits together. And I like kind of juggling the storyline with the different scenes. because it's a lot of as I went along, there's a lot of characters in there, and it's crazy because sometimes I get a little I put in a little too much and I have to kind of reel myself in, because I remind myself, this is a comic book, not a novel. So,
Mhm.
so certain things, I have to, I have to just kind of simplify. Like originally, the first arc was going to be a little bit longer than what I planned it to be.
Mhm.
But I realized like, okay, Newton, this is a comic book, and this is, I can't drag things out too much. Because I'm also a fan of. Oh, there you go. Um, that's Jay almost got the answers close.
Who almost got it?
J Man,
J-Man almost got it.
yeah, you almost got it.
All right, apparently you're close, J-Man. All right, go ahead, finish what you're saying, man.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm a fan of um the slow burn.
Hmm.
So I like I like watching or reading stories that kind of take their time and develop the characters and the plot. But in an interesting way. If you do a slow burn, I think the hardest part is just keeping people. Oh, I love that color, man. That's dope.
In my head, I know you didn't do a color book, but in my head, I
Yeah,
felt like his powers were this color.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a fan of the slow burn. So I sometimes I have to be careful though when I'm writing because I don't want to make the story longer than it should be because, like I said, it's a comic book. People aren't really trying to sit down and they don't have that mindset like they're reading a novel, so which is kind of different.
You don't think so? Depending on how much you get caught up into the story or get invested, because I feel like you've built a pretty thorough world and given us enough of characters where we're like I feel like your book is like Lovecraft, like Walking Dead, the TV show. Like I've like that pilot episode got me, and now I'm here. I want to know what these characters are. I want to know what they're doing, and obviously understanding the extent of what an indie creator can do by you're doing Kickstarters and stuff. I'm patiently waiting for my next copy. But if this would have been a trade on the first day, I would have read all. I would have read all the way through.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, yeah, I try to develop the story as much as I can. Um, I'm looking at the answers. You guys almost got it. There's two letters you need to switch around. But yeah, so yeah, when I developed, especially the first issue, because uh, we took our time doing the first issue. I think it took a whole year to complete the first issue.
Hmm.
During that time, I had a lot of time to do research and flesh things out. There's things in there uh, that I did a lot of research in, and that you like the average reader probably wouldn't even know. Like the club that Jonas performs in is a real club that existed, at that time in
Oh,
1963. Yeah,
okay.
um, there's a Ray Charles reference in there. But if you're reading, yeah, there you go. So Moana got it right. Yeah. So yeah, there's a Ray Charles reference in there. There's a reference to Buddy Guy. It, there's just things in there that I put in there while doing my research. Even the creatures, the grunch, those are native to New Orleans, or I should say,
Hmm.
New Orleans legend, and that I even modified to to fit my vision of what the grunch was. Because when you look online and you type in New Orleans grunch, GRUNCH, you'll see that uh, most of the image that comes up are like lizard-like animals, right, or monsters.
Yeah.
But when you look at the legends of the grunch, they describe them as like they were developed from albino and dwarves, and so I was like, well, I was like, I'm looking at Moana. Uh, okay, so All right, so we'll do another question.
Yeah, just put it in the private chat. Let me know when you put it over there.
All right, yeah. So the grunch, they were described as dwarves and albinos. So I was like, well, the pictures I see on Google Images don't fit the legend. So I just decided to kind of redesign the grunch, and what you see is what we came up with.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I told Gene, like, all right, just they're supposed to be dwarves and albinos, so draw something like that. He's like, and that's what he came up with. So I think he did a really great job.
Yeah, I think he did too, man. Like I said, he is really killing the designs on these creatures because they all look good, and I'm interested in all of them as they're happening or whatnot. All right, making sure I'm keeping up with the comments myself. By the way, we are streaming live on Facebook, on the Short Fuse Media Group Facebook page, my YouTube page, and Twitch. All right, let's take that one down. And then I'm going to shout out my Patreon members right now. Shout out to Andrew Duggan, Haley Dennis, Bradley Arney, Tom Kelly, and Unlikely Hero Studios for showing me support on my Patreon. Truly, truly appreciate it. And we got the next question. Yo, and I'm glad you're bringing up this question because this is probably what hurts so much, man. And the only thing I'm gonna knock you for, is that you drew the book in black and white, and I don't get to see these dark skinned people because that's not in color, but it's in black and white. And which brings me to the question: what is Jonas's girlfriend's name? If you answer this correctly,
let's do issue 1.
Issue one. And if you get that correctly, you'll get issue 1, 2, and 3.
So what's his girlfriend's name
from issue 1?
Yeah.
Now it hurt me because she gone. She was bad, man. She was bad. She snuck out to go see him and everything. I was like, she all the way down. He about to move for her. Oh, she had to be an awesome girl. And then you took her away from us. You're a terrible man. You're a terrible man.
Yeah. She's based on believe for reference I gave what's her name? Ruth. She plays the preacher's girlfriend, Ruth Nega.
Okay.
I told Gene the base I looked off for her.
There we go. I knew I forgot to do something.
I think Jonas is gonna pick up another love interest.
Oh, you think so? Well, you're the writer, man. You know. ain't no think about it. Oh, I think maybe. Let me see here.
I'm looking at the comments. See if I missed anything.
Moana said, exactly, Mike. I was so mad. Dude, that probably was.
Jonas loses a lot. He loses his mom, his little brother, his girlfriend, his bandmates, Tree and Sticks.
and the writing was on the wall, like something bad was gonna happen. Because he promised what he promised his little brother. He had the conversation with his mom. But then, see, this is what you did. You stabbed me in the back. You had the two, and spoiler alert, but the first issue's been out for a while. You had the two birds come down and let my man know, be easy tonight. It ain't on. There's something out there. I can't gauge it. Watch your back. And, they was looking out for him. So I was like, all right, so something going to pop off, but it's not going to be tonight because he got people watching out for him. And then here you come. Don't matter. Jonas got screwed anyway.
Yeah. So one of the things I did is, so so the two birds warn him, like, hey, something's not right. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And then he encounters, the cop, right? So
right.
That kind of throws people off because after that you think like, okay, maybe that's what they were talking about. But there's more to it.
Yeah, there definitely was. So, how long have you been working on this idea for the series?
Uh, man, you mean when I started, or like the time before I started it?
Uh, Conception, when the idea came up to you.
So the idea came. So I was trying to choose between two stories. One was a story about Harriet Tubman, and the other one was this one. And I decided to go with this one. But when I had the idea, it was really like I said, all I had really is the plot. For this story, and I'm not gonna really do this for any other story because um, I don't even know how I do it with this story because I I'm winging a lot of the details.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the plot, the general plot. Like I said, I knew where it was going, what was going to happen to the character at the end, who he was against. But all the details was like still not there. Like when I first started writing, for example, I would do 3 pages at a time because I didn't have all the details there, and I knew if I waited to write the actual script, I would never finish it. so I was
Okay.
like, I was like Newton, and I was really anxious to get it started. Like I'm really the type of person like when I decide to do something,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm like, all right, I know the general idea of what I want to do. Let's just do this, because I don't like getting bogged down in details. I mean, it's a strong point and plus and a weakness at the same time.
Right,
But
right.
um, so I had the general idea, so I just started going. And I just kind of like I was feeling through the story. Like for example, those the two birds that you saw in the beginning, they came to me like when I was writing just the first like 3 pages. Because as I was going along with it, I was like, oh, all right, what's next? I was like, all right, and I was just beginning to. This is my first story, and I'm really anxious and I'm nervous, and I'm like, I want, these are the first few pages of the first issue. I want to be able to grab people as quickly as possible. And the first page is he's with his family, and I put a little some stuff in the dialogue to have people thinking like, oh, whoa, magic. Well, okay, what's going on? But then I wanted to really grab people's attention, so I said, okay, you know what? I'll just add these two birds, and then so then I had to do research. Like, okay, what's the backstory behind the birds? And so I came up with backstory with them, but then I added them, and that way it kind of showed you like people looking at them like, oh wow, okay, now they see like talking birds, and they're like, oh, okay, so it grabs your attention. So I was doing things like that. If you look at the rhythm of the first book, I'm always doing things to try to grab people's attention to keep it there. Because the story is going somewhere, but it's not going where people expect it to go. Because when you
Yeah.
first read the first 3 pages or first 4 pages, will not give you any indication what the story is about. So I didn't. I wanted to keep people um,
Guessing.
guessing, or not guessing, but I wanted to hold their attention long enough to say, okay, where is this going? Keep dropping little pieces of things that grab their attention, and have them hold on to the story. So I was kind of improvising as I was going along in that way. I'd be like, okay, what's next? Oh, okay, let's do this. Yeah. So it's like, oh, he's on his way to his first paying gig, but I was like, I want something to happen along the way, and
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted at the same time to show, have to have like some kind of social commentary. So I added that. So it was like as I was going along, I was like feeling through the story, and it's the story is a lot like jazz. I'm just like improvising as I go along with the details. As it's going along, there's less improvising. I have to plan it out more because now you don't want to have holes in your story as people are reading it. You don't want them to be like, "Hey, you said in chapter one that da 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 da," but when over here is like, and then you're like, "Oh man." So yeah, that was the short answer to your question.
Hey, it's cool, man. Oh, J-Man says Danica.
Nah.
Look, man, you got me pulling out my copy. You know, and then I was actually trying to wait to read it so I could read all 4 issues straight through because I just had a feeling I was going to be upset that I'd have to wait for this next issue. But I wanted to read it beforehand before you came on so we can so I could discuss it with you. So what's up? Oh, okay.
Oh, you found it?
I found it. I already got my copies. So yeah, but I definitely wanted to have it read so I could be on the show, talk to you about it, or when I really talk about some of the things I really like. So
yeah, let me help the audience out. If you don't
go
have
ahead.
a book, you can go to wait, let me check before I say this. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information. Okay. Yeah, so if you don't have the book, you can actually go to crescentcitymonsters.com and read the first chapter online. So you can get the answer that way.
So do you ever have any plans to put this in color?
Yeah, I do. Eventually, it's just that, you know, every time I experiment with color, it's not really. I don't know. It's like I'm particular with color. I'm trying to find the right palette. You know,
That's very important.
the right feel, the right texture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't really, for some reason, I can't. I guess because I'm used to the black and white artwork, I can't picture what that would be. I would need to meet a colorist who is so good. Oh yeah, there you go. So it's Doom Smith Art, got it.
Doomsmith Art on Twitch. Doomsmith, message. I don't know if you guys are friends on Facebook, but message me your address and your name and stuff so I can get it to him so I can get you your books. Doomsmith is our winner.
Congratulations. Yeah, so
Yeah, because it's good, man.
what was I saying?
The colors, trying to find the right colors.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to. I think I need an actual colorist to figure it out for me because I don't think I could figure it out. I need to like a colorist who's going to say, this is the feel and the look that you need, and then when he shows it to me, he or she shows it to me, I'm like, yes, you are right. this is what I'm talking about. It has to be something different, you know. Like I don't know, and I don't even know what it is. So that's the thing. That's the main problem. I really don't know what that color palette or the feel and the look for the color should be. The one thing Gene and I are experimenting with is we were working on some previous project, and it was a black and white too, but he added splashes of color like red and a little bit blue in certain situations, even gold. Yo, it was dope. And for that, I was like, we got to do that too. So I'm still trying to decide whether or not we're gonna do that with chapter 4. So you know, it depends on how that goes on the timeline because and the course because with I think once we add just one color, that's it. It's considered color.
Yeah.
So the prices will be like the price will kind of go up for printing the books, but we'll see. Sometimes I make my decisions based on the quality, and suck up the course.
Hey, understandable, man. Understandable. So obviously you've done a lot of research. You've been invested in this for a while. So how hard was it for you to find a printer to print the quality and what you were looking for in the book?
I went through a lot of printers. So the first printer I had was a Kraken print. So I was part of I'm part of this group called Comics Launch.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler James It's a group started by Tyler James. He's like he gives you pointers and tips on Kickstarter and stuff like that. And so they had recommended at that time, not anymore. They had recommended Kraken Print as one of the printers, and so I went with them, and they did an excellent job. For my first issue, I was really happy with the way it came out. The only thing is like there was some problems. There was a little bit of delay, but overall the quality was good. But then they went out of business, so I had
Right.
to so I had to find a second printer. I went through like a what they call like a printer broker. Was it a printer broker? I'm trying to remember who was my second printer now. Well, I've used like this is my fourth one now, third or fourth. Right now I'm using Mixum. I used Mixum on my last one. I was really happy with the work that they did. You know, as you can see, the third issue is a lot thicker than the covers. Not a lot thicker, but noticeably thicker than
Yeah.
the previous ones. And I love that because it stays in better condition that way. You know, I'm a comic book collector myself. You know, so I like when my comic books are in pristine shape. And because that cover is thicker, it stays nice, fresh, crisp looking. You know, so I love that about the third issue. So I want to kind of keep up that quality. So I may stick with Nixon, but for the hardcover, I might experiment with some other printers. But you know, it's always it's always a nerve-wracking thing looking for printers because you know you're like, oh, they're gonna do a good job. Da, da, da. It's like,
Yeah.
you don't want to
Definitely.
order, 1,000 copies, and you're like, what the? But the one thing though I do try to do is I try to have the printers send me like a copy of what it would look like, or as close as a copy of what it would look like
That's possible.
as possible. Yeah, I like the addition of the not I like the fact that you're outlining not just the bolts but also his body. That's dope.
Thank you. All right. So, oh, J Man. All right. So the name of the movie. All right. I've been on Facebook bitching about this movie me and my wife watched last night. It's called "I'm Thinking About Ending Things." Now, I didn't like it, and then it was infuriating the whole time we were watching it, and I had to watch a video about it afterwards to figure out what was going on. After I watched that video, some things made sense, but it was still, to me, a piece of shit movie. Not my flavor. And if you want to try your luck, J Man, and see what you think of that, go right ahead. I'll probably will go more into it on the other show, Good, Bad, and Nerdy, or whatnot. But
Oh, I saw it. My daughter was like, hey Dad, have you ever heard of I think what is it? I think I'm ending this, right?
I'm thinking about ending
Yeah,
things.
I was like, nah. She's like, oh, I heard it was interesting, and that you really have to pay attention, and um, kind of like. Then she said it was. She was like, it's kind of like Us. So I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, let's check it out. But yeah, just like you, it's I mean, I didn't hate it as much as you did, but it's definitely, yeah, it's not for the average person.
It's not.
It's one of those like, I would describe it as one of those films that if you're like a real like indie film person and you like the aesthetics and the feel of like abstract indie films, you might enjoy this. But if you like regular movies, there's a good chance that you're gonna be like WTF at the end of the.
Because that's what we were like. Again, that's just my opinion of it. And it could rock for other people. And after I watched the video and got an understanding of what they were trying to do with it, you've got to meet like this isn't like a casual movie. You've got to have your thinking cap on from point blank jump to like try to start figuring things out or understand where they're going with it or whatnot. And the part that just I got so infuriated with is the fact that they there's a scene in there where they start dancing out of nowhere. I said, all right, that's it. What is this movie about? I'm done.
It's funny. So I said, so me and my daughter were watching it, and then we're like, man, this movie's long. So there comes to that scene where he does the musical,
Yeah.
and then we look at each other and we're like, nah. We're like, we'll fast forward through this part.
Something we
And but then that was the last scene in the movie. I was like, okay. I was like, but I kind of got what they were trying to do. Some of the things, but because just like you, we watched like a YouTube video, or we read I think my daughter read an article and she was like reading it out loud, explaining it. And I was like, yeah, okay, I see where they're going. But the dangers of movies like that is like when you try to be too slick,
Yeah.
abstract. It's like, there's a fine line that you have to kind of go through as you're creating a story between, wanting your audience to really think deep and just totally losing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and the thing too is like you'll encounter these stories and people are like, oh, this was genius. It's like, well, just because you didn't understand it doesn't mean it was genius.
Right.
Just because but the one thing I have to say about it was that the movie was left to, like, from what I understand about what the creator said, it was left for interpretation, right? So it's not like, because he says he's not going to explain anything, so it's not like it doesn't seem like he was trying to say something. He was just leaving certain things to your
Imagination.
imagination. So I, and in that respect, I guess, what he was doing wasn't totally bad, but as a movie watcher, it's not something that you can just sit back and act like passively just watch and enjoy. It's definitely not that.
Not at all, because you will get lost. But like I said, when we watched the video, a lot of the things made sense. What he said, a lot of things made sense with what they were trying to do. What I saw on film and what they were trying to explain to me, I was like, okay, I can see that, or I see where we're going. But I agree with you. Like what you said, I think it was trying to be too slick.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. But yeah, so that's the movie, J Man. That's the flick. Hold up. If you want to try it, man, I actually love to hear what you got to say. We'll do the show Friday, so you can chime in with us and tell us what you thought.
I'm looking through some of the comments. There's Kenneth Brown was on. What's up, Kenneth?
And
Paige Alfred. What's up, Paige?
what's up, Paige? How you doing? No, don't reset. It's fine that way.
So the comments on here is from both Twitch and Facebook.
Yes, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube.
Oh, I don't think I can see the YouTube comments though.
No, I'm checking.
Oh, actually, no, I see it. It's got the YouTube icon. But there's only one comment, right?
Yeah, whoever's watching on YouTube isn't watching anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they try to string it in all in one area for us.
I love that. I gotta really up my game in the streaming services stuff.
Oh, dude, StreamYard is great. StreamYard is wonderful. It gives a lot of I was talking about YouTube, Doomsmith. It gives a lot of options for the free package. I do the first level. The first level lets me stream to 3 places at the same time. I can have up to 10 guests on here at once. I think I got like 6 hours of straight streaming. And I can do all my personal logos and all that stuff without their branding on it.
Yeah, I noticed Moana was using it too.
Yeah, I had a little feeling. I felt like when he does his magic, kind of like Super Saiyans it up a little bit in this picture.
Yeah. You know, there's there's another crossover that we're doing also too. With, Greg Anderson Elise.
Oh yeah, looking forward to that one because he's got a Kickstarter going on right now too.
Yeah, big ups to Greg. He's got his Nana Weird Spider
Killing it
Kickstarter.
right now.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Let's see here a little bit more.
TJ Sterling too. His Okina's Kickstarter just reached 20,000.
Yeah, I saw that. Crazy.
Yeah, everybody is doing good, man.
All right, man. Well, here we are at the closing, coming around the last hour. We gave away some free books. We're gonna give those out to Doomsmith. He said he'll message me on Instagram, and I'll get his information with you.
Okay.
And this is what I got for you, Jonas, with his weapons, his magic.
Oh, that's dope, man. I love that.
Awesome. Well, this is gonna be yours. I'm gonna email it to you. You can do whatever you want with it. And I want to thank you for coming on to the show again for the sequel, us making it happen, everybody getting to talk to you and things like that. Be sure to check out the Kickstarter. Oh, did I lose it? Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Let me put this. I know people like things just given right to them, and I grabbed it and I got it. Don't worry, it's coming. Kickstarter link right there for you guys. Check this out. Go ahead. So my thing with Kickstarters, here it is. All right. Yes. You're already a go, right?
Oh wait, hold up. This is I think the link that you sent is to the third Kickstarter actually.
Oh, is it? Crap in a hat.
Sorry.
Kickstarter. But you're already a go, right, for your Kickstarter?
Oh yeah. Those about 10,000. We're at 22 right now, a little past 22,000.
All right. So here's the thing. He may be at go, but he can still use your help. Comic books cost a lot of money to make.
Yeah, we got some good stretch goals. So I mentioned both of them already. First one was the crossover with Keith Cross, Mercer's character, and the second one. So that's gonna be like a free PDF that you get. That's 10, 12 pages. But then there's gonna be an additional because we just passed our second Kickstarter stretch goal. There's gonna be an additional story to that PDF, which is another 10, 12 pages. So a total of like anywhere from 20 to 24 pages of extra comic book PDF. It's given to all our backers, and the second crossover stories with is Nana the Weird Spider, with Greg Anderson Elise is Nana. So that's an extra bonus all Kickstarter pledges get. And then the third Kickstarter stretch goal is going to be the one that I'm really excited about because it's actually going to be the physical copy of the bonus PDF for everybody who pledged at a physical tier. So everybody who will actually pledge at a tier that you get a physical book, you get another free comic book. So I'm looking forward to reaching that stretch goal because that's gonna be dope. Just to give everyone an extra comic book, a bonus comic book,
right?
Especially with those two crossovers, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are excited about it. I know a lot of us on here that are watching now follow all these Kickstarters, all the ones that you mentioned, all the crossovers that you're talking about right now. So again, shout out, congratulations, man, on you hitting your Kickstarter goal. Everybody that's watching now, what I want you to know and understand, this is how I feel about Kickstarters. Kickstarter starters are awesome, and we are indies. We are making these comic books with the help of you through Kickstarter and our own funds, through other means or whatnot. But if you don't have any money to donate to the Kickstarter, that is perfectly fine, because you can do something that's just as valuable. Share. Giving a share and advocating for this project, saying you think it looks cool, or just giving us an opportunity to reach your audience, your friends, your circle, to let them see what we have going on, is so much more appreciated if you're doing that. And we're not going to turn away $1. If you got $1 to give, we'll take $1. If 1 million people gave $1 million, that's $1 million towards this project, and I guarantee he can do a lot of money with a lot of things with $1 million on this project. So, my last question to you, Newton, before we go, do you have in your head that if this gets options for TV or something, that you're going to say yes?
Yeah, but it's got to be the right. It's got to be the right, I guess the right partnership.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be done right. I want my grandkids to be like, "Yo, my granddad did that." So I want something that I can look at and be like, "Yeah, that's kind of dope."
Awesome. Absolutely, man. Well, I wish you tons more success. I can't wait to get my copy of the book to see what else you're doing. I know I'm gonna be pissed off when I get done reading issue number 4, because I gotta wait again.
By the way, I love the Bitly URL in the private chat for
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Boom. Thank you very much. Let's get that out here before we log off. All right, like I said, go check that out. If you like Newton, check them out, man. Check out that Kickstarter if you're interested in the book. Look at it. They got tons of good rewards on there. And as Moana's excited about, there's a hardcover edition of this bad boy, and I think it's truly worthy of that. And everybody should go check it out. If you enjoyed this episode of Chat and Draw, I guarantee you I do stuff like this all the time, and you should come check me out. Let me make it easy for you. Here's all my social media information. You can track me down as Most Epic Art on Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, and catch Chat and Draw every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. for its regular schedule. We did a special episode today to get Newton on here or whatnot, but hope you enjoyed. Please support, pledge, share, or all 3 of those things. Pick one or do all 3 of them, man. We will talk to you later.